like this. Leave like this.
Welcome, everybody, to the Breachers preseason week 2. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's. I'm joined by my co-caster, Heritage. Heritage, how are we feeling today for today's matchup?
Damn, I'm surprised we're heading into, what is this, the second week? And then we actually got some high-level gameplays here. If you're like me and have been paying attention to competitive breachers, or you're particularly new to the scene, these two teams, Wicked and Infinity, they've been known to, be the best here in North America. So I do expect some good gaming of breachers here.
Yeah, when we looked at the votes on the website, it definitely was the highest voted match, alongside another one shortly after this. I wish I had multiple brains so I could cast multiple games at the same time. It's why we're getting multiple casters onto the team so that we can. But we're covering this matchup for today. Wicked Esports versus Infinity. Two teams, again, that are playing their at the top of their Breachers game right now. And we're really excited for this matchup because so far it really has just kind of been chaos. You know, there isn't really any order in the matchmaking quite yet because of these early weeks, things settling in. And it seems like week 2 has just kind of blessed us. It gave us a little gift here, something that is two teams that should be pretty close in skill and should be pretty skilled in the game of Breachers. I'm really looking forward to learning a lot about the meta here today. And Heritage, I'm really excited to get your insight into plays, into moves, into how these players are thinking when they make certain buys. Because, I mean, we're going to see some different guns coming in today than we have in past matches with some of those adjustments that have happened over the last patch.
Yeah, recently, I think like yesterday, they did it's very, very new. They did something where they changed the recoil. Now it's a lot more visually clear rather than something that just spikes immediately. And then they also nerfed something that I feel like it's a bit interesting. They decided to tackle the pistols meta, where earlier back in the days in the earlier months, a lot of people bought Cyclones simply because it could 2-tap to the head and was better than any other gun in pistol. Now it does 3 to the head, and this makes up a full 4. So basically almost all 4 guns are fully viable to use, but it's a lot more decision making than just just wiring your brain to buy a specific gun at a specific amount of money.
Yeah, right. It was definitely a cost-efficient thing to be buying into that Cyclone. And I would even see players saying that Cyclone with sights on it is basically a mini Vezin. And it's like at 500, that's an incredibly affordable gun to be picking up. So definitely good to see those adjustments. It's got me excited for future iterations of this game, and even for like the future weeks, because maybe who knows what kind of other patches we're going to see that'll impact guns. Maybe we see a Vezin nerf. I don't know. I would love to see something else getting bought in that AR range, because right now, I mean, at least today, we expect to see a Vezin party. I mean, are you anticipating any SMG buys coming in today?
No, I'm gonna be really honest. No, I think unless it's a round 6 or round 12 force buy, it's not common to see top tier teams buy something like SMGs, the RCP, the Viper, or like the Omen. Those haven't been particularly dominant compared to earlier days where obviously if you were on an eco, you could obviously buy an Omen, and it still would have done the same amount of damage, but obviously with the damage range being lowered to it, then we haven't been seeing it a lot more, and people have been opting by Omens. Cyclones.
Map 1 is going to take us to Hideout, where we will kick things off and get ready to dive into the action. If you don't know, we play 3 maps here at VRML. The best of 3 takes the series win. And we'll be jumping in to our first map of the afternoon here today. The first to 7 points takes the map, and you can tie. We have actually seen a tie already in week 2 with a 6-6 on map 1 in one of the matchups. So it's I got to swap. Oh no, I got those teams on the right sides. Infinity on the attack, Wicked Esports on the defense, and our first objective down here on the bottom floor. What kind of level of aggression are we going to see? The breach, or is it just going to be pushing through this door? I'm not seeing too much utility coming through. Actually, a ton of utility on the attacking side.
Yeah, especially you have something like the base ground level basement side, especially here in gym or storage. A lot of teams will opt to go for something like, aim at that gym wall right there, and then focus on getting the plant on the right side. But instead, what normally happens, especially in top tiers, is they'll try to play around it. They don't want to go direct simply because most teams will expect a player to be holding that angle, so they might try to opt something to play a little bit of hatch here, as this is what it is mostly on Hideout. Most of the hatches are in fact usually played as that's what's happening a lot in the storage side. Just they're able to find Dest, but most of the time they'll be playing hatch. But anyways, the drone's gonna come in, hang towards B. The smoke's gonna pop off. That's gonna give a little bit of clearance, as there's the double.
Ooh, yeah, the double smoke coming through the
And the
EMP plant.
EMPs.
Yeah, TVG's gonna look for the corner peek, and beautiful over the top from Evil Jester. Here comes Luma on the other side. Lumi getting popped off, popping through that door blocker. The breach coming through in the drone, calling out all sorts of locations. Tumbleweed. They're worried about that peek through that door blocker as they lose another one on the push through. They have to fend off on the EMP as Dolphin drops down. There's a shot from Ondog on the long side. They're trying to retake B, and they have no shot here as Dolphin finishes it off. A solid round from Infinity to kick this off. They take that pistol win, 2,500 into their pocket versus 15 into the pocket of Wicked. What do you do here for Wicked economy-wise, as you obviously don't have as much cash?
Usually, yeah, the best option would just be buy the same stuff you bought in the first round. You lost most of you were mostly expecting to get the win, try to buy some equipment to deny entry into sites, but usually the first two rounds of either half, and most of the time it's just going to be pistols. The only time you would want to play a little bit more bold is you want to rely on one player to do all the fragging, which is a little bit more questionable because then obviously you lose that round, then you're gonna have to have one player down in eco.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's better to just play safe and then buy some basic pistols and utility.
Getting into the action for round number 2 here as the time ticks down, and we'll see what this push looks like on the offense. I did get a message from Dolphin. I don't know what it was about. That's because they literally were playing. She told me we started. Well, yeah, we're here. We're here, Dolph. We've been watching.
We're alive. We're alive, everyone.
Yeah, very much so, as they do again lose that.
AI. We aren't AI. No AI take over here in VRML.
You could probably do an AI of both our voices at this point with the amount of commentary and content created. But either way, round 2 is kicking off, and like you say, pistols and utility. Obviously, again, even more utility coming in on the side of the attack. The drones, the health syringes, even a little bit of a frag grenade, a breaching foam. They are ready to push into this this bottom floor objective. There's that drone again, flying around, radioing in any information to the team. They're able to ping locations of players, and you can actually shoot through walls at these pings. So if Tumbleweed gets pinged, you could see a shot from Ondog as the nade comes in to the backside, doesn't catch them out. A couple of shots through the wall there that don't find much, and there's less damage as those bullets go through the wall, right?
Yeah, usually the damage fall off, not sure. I haven't done a lot of experimenting, but anyway, yeah, but there is in fact a lot less damage as both walls on B side have fallen, and that leaves most of B side fully exposed. Des is stuck alone in that pantry corner. Matt is able to find the first. Lumi's able to get up for the refrag. Ondog with that EMP is going to offer a plan. Jester able to find Lumi. Jester able to get the second. Oh my god, I thought Basil would have lost that. Basil will find Jester, making it a 1v3 all on Basil, and Dog able to find Tumble.
Oh.
As Dolphin finally gets Basil, as going to be 2-0 in the favor of Infinity.
A nice hold, though. Kills coming in, and that is 150 into the pocket as you net a kill. I mean, is that really enough to impact anything when you go round to round, or is it something that's like, that just kind of is additive, and then eventually it's like, oh, hey, I can get an extra grenade or something?
Usually with... Man, I really don't want to get...
Okay, hey,
not sure what most of the players are thinking, but usually the thirds, all you just mostly in breachers, all you just want to focus is just the guns. a lot of people, especially in high tier, they're like, I have good aim. I'm just gonna rely on that.
Sure.
More than utility, which it's not a bad tactic. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It does work at times, but most of the time, especially if you're playing as a team, unless you have that much individual talent, then it's mostly not gonna work. So usually utility would be a lot more of your best friend.
Yeah, I think
just going raw aim.
That mindset definitely works in pubs pretty well too. The gun rules all, but if you can combine utility, combine your efforts as a team, that's kind of the whole goal here of breachers. As we do see a breaching foam coming in, I imagine it's going to be a breach and drop. Potentially. I've seen that before, taking a little bit of damage by standing on the breacher foam and dropping straight in off the breach. But both A and B tucked in. I think one thing to note is just the defensive style of Wicked Esports here. They're not overextending out of these objective positions. They're staying tucked in.
Yeah, it's all about discipline. Most of the time, teams will just use the breaching foam or any type of utility just to bait the team to try and make the false rotate, as Tumbleweed's able to find Mad.
Yeah, kill across the way there. Shots through the wall as there could be a potential breach from Ninja. The nade comes into the back. Doesn't get the bounce they need to catch Destin Lumi. If that was just a little bit harder off the wall, that could have been a huge nade to set up this push in through this breach. Looks like Evil putting down some breacher foam, getting ready to push into A. They have A nicely locked down. What's B look like? Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of movement from the offensive side towards B. Oh, yeah, that's going to be big spotting these positions out.
Yeah, and especially you have Ninja Tim on that shower side. He's able to come in as that guy to cut off the rotate towards Closet. As the flash is going to come through, Des is going to be forced to rotate, but he's fully blind.
Oh!
But somehow Lumi saves Des. Ninja Tim can't even find him, but Ninja's able to get 2. It's 2v3. Dolphin able to make it fully even, but Lumi able to find Ninja Dolphin in a 1v2 now. Dolphin able to find Basil. Lumi is there 1v1. Dolphin 2
Oh!
Drops Dolphin, able to get the clutch.
Was that with the oral? No, that's with the...
No, that's...
Yeah, the Mari. I haven't seen that bought into yet. But pays off big for Dolphin there as they find those last few kills. Economy looking strong for Infinity right now here, Taj. And one thing I'm kind of interested to see too as we get weeks and weeks into this, we collect the stats, is what teams excel at attacking and what teams excel at defending, right? Because there are going to be some teams that are better at attacking than defending, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done too much analysis work.
Wow.
Yeah, leave that up to Ripster. He knows what's up. But yeah, there are teams that prefer to play offense because they obviously have multiple areas to work with, and there's teams that obviously that prefer defense. Self-explanatory because you don't want to focus on getting the EMP down. It's just better to stay where you are, and it's just all a matter of personal preference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's why some teams would like to start on the opposite side of what they're more comfortable with, because they just want to focus on getting a lot more round wins on that specific side.
Interesting.
Yeah,
well,
compared to my team, my team sucks at starting as enforcers.
Well, Infinity are up 3-0 here as we get into our next round, and already a pretty early engagement on the initial door. Jester is going to catch Basil as they try and shotgun down the initial entry point. And like I was saying earlier, they are a pretty tucked-in defense. That was maybe the first time they extended out to get aggressive, which I do like to see. Teams trying to change things up, especially on an eco round. You're just looking for a little pick right there out of that doorway, right? Out of that window.
Yeah, especially towards the piano room. Usually you'll find one player hanging around there, but it's pretty uncommon to expect a player just be hanging around exactly where Jester was able to kill him, as Jester does get the second on Des, as Ace kind of cleared.
A handful of blind fire going through that wall before they breach their way through. A smoke as well coming in as the drone over the top. The push coming in from the full team. Oh, yeah, they're planting down. Lumi tries to push in, doesn't have any success. Ninja here to shut that down. The drone still radioing in information as pings come down onto Tumbleweed. That's going to be difficult for them to work with. The push through almost pays off. Dolphin not there to hold that down from the inside. They're really instead tucked in around the other angle. Where is Dolphin? Oh, they're droning. That's where Dolphin was, tucked around the other side as Matt and team get rid of the rest of Wicked Esports on objective. only a kill coming through this time for Wicked, and Infinity definitely have momentum in their hands, but if we're going to look for any sort of time to switch things up, it's now for the likes of Wicked, right? You can see they're full buying into Vessens, and that's also a Maori coming in, so they're clearly going for that gun. Finally, a full buy. I mean, I don't think I've seen the full Vessen buy-in from Wicked yet.
I mean, especially in something like now, it's a little bit towards late in the half where now would be a good time to actually get some utility and some proper guns.
Yeah.
But this is also a bit of an interesting call because essentially they're under the 200 mark for the credits, and essentially they lose this round, they're going to be forced on pistols again.
Yeah, and that's with how much cash is in the hands of Infinity, likely leading to a 6-0. Then we go into a side swap, and it's only one more round into the pocket of Infinity to take this first map. At that point, we can start talking about momentum and resetting that energy going into the next map. But for now, this Wicked Esports team has to focus on grabbing these next 2 rounds. They've done a huge buy into this defensive hold, and it definitely looks like it's going to be a tucked-in defense. No one overextending out through the piano room. Everyone patiently waiting on the inside. Actually, the only real aggressive position is Basil on that bottom floor, but the whole team is on this roof pushing in, so I don't know that it'll pay off very well.
Yeah, usually on maps like Hideout, it's a lot more common to have lurks because it's pretty quick to just have one guy saying, hey, they're going to be pushing through main or balcony, as that's what Infinity are right now. And then there, as Matt's able to find Tumbleweed. Now Basil should be heading towards that rotate now, as he's slowly making his way in, but the movement it's already made. Anna is going to get the EMP plant. The flash is going to come in. That's a quick plant.
Yeah, super quick plant. It's going to be a very hard retake now, as you do see one over the backside. Kills coming in across the way on A, and it's going to be all up to Wicked now, alone in their 1v5 push to get rid of an EMP. Oh, what a incredibly fast breach, really, coming in from Infinity, changing the pace of how they've been moving these past rounds, if not to do anything, disrupt this full AR buy that's come in from Wicked. So very much looking like the 5th round into the hands of the Infinity team, but maybe a chance. There's the first kill. Basil scoops up 1. How much time on that EMP before they have to push in?
I haven't done it, but I think it's around an estimated 1 minute, but
okay.
As I say that, it doesn't matter as Basil falls to Ninja, as it's a full 5-0, and we go to the last round of the first half.
Yeah, Wicked down on their economy here going into this one. Only 2K into their pockets collectively. It's enough to kit out a pistol, buy a little bit of utility, and try and hope for something here. But they're going up against drones, smokes, active camo, grenades, it is breach charges, flashes. The whole gambit of utility is coming in from this Infinity team. And at this stage, why not? I mean, especially in these early weeks, you want to really define your rank. You want to go for these big wins. You have to keep your foot on that gas at all times, and that's what we're seeing from Infinity. They are not going to be letting up going into this next round. They are playing strong. We can take a quick look at the KDs, and interestingly enough, it's not, a couple of kills have come in. Basil, Lumi, Tumble, all on the board there, but still 5 and 6. Actually a pretty good spread on the likes of Infinity.
Yeah, definitely, especially when it's a lot more of a team-based game, and if you have everyone playing at equal performance, then it could pretty much result in a comfortable team that knows how everyone's going to play. As the nade towards garage tosses goes a little bit wrong, but the flash comes in. There's pre-fire coming in. Mad's able to drop in from the laundry. There's spam coming in from the laundry. Jester able to get the breaching foam down. As that nade there, that's going to force Des to push out. Des is able to find Mad. It's making it a full even 4v4, but Des is getting shot down to half health. They know where Des is at, and he's basically stuck.
challenging a long hallway up against the Vezin and a pistol in hand, not going to be an easy task. Drone coming in here to ID a couple of these locations, and there's the full push from Jester. Dez goes down. Blind fire from Tumbleweed catches the corner of Jester there, does a little bit of damage. Ondog firing back some fire of their own, but it's a 3v4, not impossible. I mean, this team is fending off this push okay for now. Here comes the drone. It's going to ID Tumble. Tumble can't get the shots onto the drone as Jester pushes in and scoops up a kill, and Jester with a slice of health continues to barrel forward. Another kill over the top. It's up to Lumi in a 1v4 with Jester no health practically as the EMP plant comes down and Dolphin finishes things off.
I don't know how Jester lived. He's 1 HP.
Crazy.
I mean,
and to keep pushing to win that, I mean, just pre-firing the corner the whole way as they advance through to win that initial, that fourth kill. What is their total KD now? 8-4 on the round. They sort of jumped up from the rest of their team with that last round win. And now we swap sides. Wicked on the attack and Infinity on the defense, and everything getting reset on economy. Are we going to see could we see a full 6-0 reversal here?
Do we get a tie? Maybe. I know Wicked, they're a lot more better on offense compared to their defensive side. They know how to do proper pushes, but in a 6-0 where no mistakes are allowed, it's just a matter of time and a little bit of luck.
Lumi with a very interesting move here has crawled onto the edge of the banner, crawled up to the edge here by the window, and so they're not bound by the tether of the leash. They can lean onto this corner here. It's a very creative little play to get them to push in, and ultimately the rest of the team is going to continue to advance forward. TBG catches a couple of shots onto Dolphin. The vault here is Mad's onto the short corner, and Mad not ready for the swing from TBG.
Man, that's gotta suck. Just not ready. Just got hit with a unfortunate disconnect. That nade's gonna toss through, but falls just a bit short. As Lumi is able to push his way through long, able to come towards the boxes. As now, B-side is stuck, or Jester somehow able to find TBG dog, making it a 4v4. It's still even with 2 minutes 10. But the enforcers are already in sight.
Yeah, and where is the push coming from? Is it on to B? Is it on to A? It seems like they're surrounding B with Lumi particularly close to pushing in.
Oh my god, A's open.
Yeah, and Basil's open.
Basil's able to find Jester from the flank. He's going to be pushing into A. Ondog's going to be ready. Or Basil trying to play. Perfect there, the lean. Basil with just a slitter of health to pre-fire through the wall. Dolphin able to find Lumi. As it's still 3v3, Dolphin able to find a little bit of an unfortunate disconnect, all down to Des and Basil just to keep their team alive.
Yeah, it is a 2v3, and Infinity are looking to lock in map number 1 here as the health syringe gets tossed over to Basil. They'll get a little bit of heal up. The beauty of VR and being able to share utility like that, you gotta love it. It's hard to even remember with a game of this kind of, such quality that it is all in VR. There are people that are tuning into this thinking, well, this is a kind of a neat 2D game. No, this is a VR shooter right here that you're watching.
These players are aiming with actual hands, no mouse and keyboard or controller. As they're gonna be trying to, they're gonna rotate to A, but 40 seconds left. Ondog is still on that site.
Oh
my god!
The collateral.
That's a wow. Ondog with the collateral to make it a clean 7-0 sweep on Hideout.
A solid job from the Infinity team to lock in that final round with an unfortunate disconnect, obviously coming in for the likes of Wicked. A 7-0 opener here for them. Definitely the way you want to start map number 1. Where do we go from here is the question, though, and does that map change give Wicked enough shift in momentum to get back into this?
It's a lot more of a if they just do decide to go on their most preferred map, I think Wicked, they're from what it was like when I used to watch streams of them playing. I felt like they were a lot more stronger on something like Skyscraper than compared to something like Hideout, where Hideout, it's a lot more close quarters. There's still there are still options to have fights in the short to mid, and like basically any type of gunfight that could happen on that map. Some say like it's full even. Some say it'd be like dedicated to one side. So like it's just jack of all trades, especially on a map like Hideout where it could just shift anywhere. As I say that, the map's gonna be Factory as Wicked. They're gonna opt to go with Revolters first. So preferably they're gonna start with their less preferable side to play.
Yep, we'll go ahead and swap the sides so you know that they'll be on yellow and Infinity will be on the attack to open things up. And I think I actually have... Oh, did the scores not swap there? Infinity won that last round, right? I'm not going crazy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll manually swap the scores. So Infinity is up 7-0 off of map 1. Maybe just doing a quick little reset for a couple of headsets before we get back in here. But... Heritage, I got to ask, as we were getting ready to jump into this series, did you think Infinity would open things up 7-0 on Hideout? Did you think that this was how this would start between these two teams?
Wow, you're putting me on the spot, huh, Nightfire?
Well, hey, I just want to know what you were expecting at the start of this stream.
I was expecting something like a tie, maybe like 6-6,
Sure.
or like something like a 7-5, 7-4. I did not expect something like a clean sweep. I really didn't.
I mean,
I know the caliber of these two teams. I know they have potential of able to stomp.
Yeah, and you're not alone. You know what I mean? There are a handful of people, over 30 folks that have voted on this match on the website, because you can, if you do have an account, you can log on to the website, you can vote on which team you think is going to win or lose, and that helps determine your connoisseur rating. If you are good at predicting winners of matches, that all gets ranked at the end of a season, and we have a top connoisseur that is the best at predicting wins and losses, and sometimes in the past we've given prizes to that top connoisseur. So get involved if you want. There's no guarantee that you'll get anything out of it, but it is a fun little mechanic on the website, and it does kind of help give us an insight into like what is the community thinking. Do they feel that it's going to be one-sided? And it definitely was not that. It was like 11-12 on the votes, or 13-14 votes. It was pretty much a dead even split on the website for these two teams. And so, yeah, you're definitely not alone in thinking that Infinity, or at least that Wicked, were going to come out here and fend off Infinity a little bit on Hideout. We now go in to our next round, round number 2, map number 2. Wicked on defense, Infinity on the attack. We haven't had any roster swaps from what I can notice, and so all 5 of both sides warmed up now after that first map. And I mean, yeah, let's see what we get here on Factory.
I mean, hopefully, if you just played the alpha, this is obviously a lot more. Everyone knows this map.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the secrets. This map has been available since like the alpha phase, and I believe all 10 of these players have been playing since alpha, so they should know their ins and outs and maybe know every single strat possible. And
this seems like a heavy buy coming in from Infinity on the attack. Smokes, breach, grenades. There's not a whole lot of leftover cash in their pockets. Maybe that's anticipating the win, or just the fact that they're going to eco next round too. But they're definitely bringing all of the tools to the pistol round here.
I feel like, yeah, this is definitely Infinity being really confident in their skill. I mean, after a momentum boost of like a clean 7-0, they're going in fully confident, knowing what's going on. Anyways, a little bit of pre-fire from Des, able to trade a couple of shots on Ninja Tim, but that nade, barely just taps 2 as the wall on storage falls. That smoke's gonna get popped. Ninja Tim with the EMP gets dropped, but the flash fails. Flashing your own teammates to be able to find the dog. Just are able to find the bot. It's Still a 3v4. Now it's in favor
Wow.
of Wicked, making it a 4v2. Sleepy able to get the second.
Yeah, Sleepy playing a big angle there. TBG catching a couple of kills, and now we're just down to 2. They almost have to defend as another shot comes in. The push from Des. They wrap this thing up with 4 alive, and they take a big defensive round. I mean, that was a heavy commitment coming in from Infinity. And to your point, why wouldn't it be? You know, they are up 7-0 off of a map win. You're riding momentum, but the risk taken doesn't pay off, and we have players like Sleepy who are buying into a Vezin now at the start of this.
Yeah, it's like what I said, it's a lot more of a bold call to give some of your players, obviously your top fragger or your main rifler, a Vezin or Marui or whatever, any type of rifle, because you're insisting that they're gonna make the call of they're gonna be forced on pistols again. And if you just want that easy round win, then you're gonna just fight back with Vezin.
It's all kind of like a overkill to some extent, right? Because you know that the pistols are coming. So do you need to buy into these big guns if you can just maybe even lose the round but still have a at least equal economy? I obviously that's the whole beauty of the game like this. That's why we're here with VRML doing a league for it, because this is a solid competitive esport. There's a lot to be decided on, and these decisions can widely impact how this game unfolds. So already momentum into the hands of Wicked, and for the first time they're on the board with a round win. As we do get into round number 2, I'm waiting to see if we're going to get any sort of quick entries into these hallways. It doesn't look like it. Ondog and Evil Jester could be the first up on the hit list, but I'm curious where you think. Yeah, where is this push coming from?
Oh, did you miss Des? Hello?
Oh.
Okay, Des is able to find Mad, gets the second. I'm not sure what happened, but it's 5-3. Where was this Wicked in Hideout?
Yeah, no kidding. They are looking aggressive, if anything, here. They're out-aggressing Infinity, and Infinity were barreling down Wicked in those final rounds. It's a very nice shift of pace. Maybe it's just this map confidence. Who knows? But we are seeing a much solid, more focused Wicked team in at least these early rounds. 5v3 is set up, 2 minutes on the clock with some breaching foam out, and Ondog on a rotation to push in and breach in towards A. Drones coming in, flashes, smokes, the full gambit of utility invested in here to this second pistol round from Infinity.
Yeah, there it is. Ninja Tim's gonna opt for the plan on B side, but cut out by TBG. That smoke there towards lockers did not cut it out. They wanted to smoke off that cross onto B, but Des will get the third Sleepy to get the final kill at the round. Look at Esports. They're coming alive.
I have not a single death. That's big economy-wise, too, especially when you look at Sleepy, who bought into that Vezin. They have 2,700 to hand out to their teammates, to kit out their teammates' guns and get everyone situated in a very comfortable position. But I mean, there hasn't been any. Is the Marai also a gun that people do prefer here at the high tier? Because we are seeing a couple of players now being buying into this AR, and I don't think it got any changes recently.
Yeah, yeah, mostly, Vezin's obviously the most preferred pick because of the recoil. It's really easy to control compared to something like the Marui, where it just kicks up out of nowhere. But
preference?
a lot of people, yeah, it's all personal preference. It's kind of like the AK versus no, AK's better in Counter-Strike. It's a lot more comparable to the Phantom versus Vandal situation in competitive Valorant, where it's like that.
Yeah, this game's so interesting because you look at it and it's the easiest comparison for me, at least, is Rainbow Six Siege, but there's so much more to it than that with the economy phases and the buy and buying into these utility pieces, and it's unique even in the space of VR as a shooter, and so I've been so happy to cast, and I think I've done a cast almost every day except for yesterday as we get into our fourth round here, and looks like we are getting some hatch breaches. The drone has come down into this into the second floor, as we do see some shots from Lumi trying to connect on it but not landing.
Yeah, and Lumi's a little bit more wary of hearing that hatch go down. He's a little bit more skeptical, but there Sleepy's Penguin's coming in as that support, heading into control, as Ninja Tim's going to open up that window towards connector, as Des is going to be a little bit more alerted. but no progress made fully yet, as everyone on the side of Infinity, they're hanging around the top,
Yeah.
and Ninja Tim being the only player on the exact same floor as Jester, and Ondog's gonna drop Lumi, able to get one, but immediately gets refragged by Ondog, and that's TMP down. But that's gonna get retrieved soon by Ondog, but I think he's a little bit more scared of. Oh, somehow Sleepy fell. I think Jester got Sleepy before Lumi got it, but there it is. Dolphin and Ondog. I think they're gonna be able to. Oh, there's the foam wall. That's gonna drop Des on that connector. Somehow Des gets away with the line. Basil able to find Ondog.
The blind fire around the corner from Ninja catches Dest out, and we're into a 2v2 as TBG tries to fight through the windows. Doesn't work out for them, and Basil's alone in a 1v2.
Oh my god, this is VR, ladies and gentlemen. You can't do that on a flat screen. As Basil's down to a 1v2, cannot find Ninja through that wall. It's Infinity get the round win.
Yeah, that is a big win. Are they going to get the plant in time, too? I don't know.
No.
Oh, it was close. They were on that last moment of planting that down and getting an extra 200 team-wide into their pockets. But that's a big round for Infinity. They are, I mean, especially in these early rounds, you know, you don't want to let Wicked run away economy-wise, which they certainly were doing. But after that round, it sort of stunted them because of how heavily they bought into round 3. They're now having to buy orals, and I guess you do no orals. Excuse me. We do have a Vezins and the Maori is what I am seeing. So either way, they are down now to 700 and 800 as we are seeing full Vezin buys on the attacking side. This is pretty much an even Steven round with utility coming in from both players. Should be an exciting round 4.
Yeah, I think there was Mad. Look at that economy just around that 4K mark. So I think, especially for round 5, he's going to be mostly that main support. But for everyone else, if you lose that round, you're kind of stuck with a poor economy.
Nade's utility coming in. Oh, that nade chunking down Sleepy a little bit as they drop off of that initial hold. Not so eager to push forward. If they lose that breach, if they lose that wall there, though, that Sleepy's pushing through, it really leaves this room wide open for the team to push in from multiple angles. I'm curious if they're going to... There's no real outside defense. They're very much letting this offense come to them.
Yeah, most of the time, especially on this side, you know, where if one wall goes down, the entire site's fully exposed. So most of the time, what teams will do is they'll just stack 2 or 3 on both sides. You'll have one guy hanging around Freezer, and, you know, if they make the call, then everyone's going to just swarm that because... Yeah.
A retake style of defense almost, where you try and, swing back and... It's risky, but all still alive in these first 2 minutes as Evil does get down, but does take a bit of damage. They're down here with the rest of their team as they set up towards A. 4 stacked up here, getting ready with the breach charges. Ondog catches Basil on the outside.
That's 1 defender down. You don't have to worry about any more lurks. That flash is going to hit Dest, but there's no follow-up. The smoke's going to cover, but I don't think it's worth enough as Sleepy from that Freezer able to get the EMP carrier, but I'm not sure if he knew. The flash is gonna come. My god, what a shot from Dest to stop the EMP from getting planted. But 1 minute 5v3, this is still winnable for Infinity, but it's just a matter of time, and if they could just have the game sense to just close it out.
Ooh, Dolphin does peek that short corner. TBG tries to catch the shots with the Maori, and TBG and Sleepy are the sitting back here just holding this big open hole while Dest is tucked in between 2 cabinets and is fending off this EMP plant. It's beautiful, but Oddog baits it out. Dolphin finds the kill, the long angle. That's a beautiful 1-2 punch. The EMP's down, but there's a headshot to the back of the head. Dolphin and Mad still alive as Mad picks off Sleepy finally down, but there's the retake. Like you said, Lumi comes in around the long way, catches the kill to the side, and it's a 1v2 with EMP down.
It's all down to Matt in 1v2, but not sure if timing. playing a little bit more outside. You cannot view the EMP from there. He's able to find Lumi's. Sleepy's gonna swing.
Has to reload.
Doesn't
Pops
get-
back out.
Oh my god! Mad with the 1v2 to tie it.
We are into our... This is the matchup people were expecting here. This is what we were anticipating when we were getting ready for map number 1. It almost feels like at this point Infinity kind of snuck away with one, getting that 7-0 in map 1 with how well Wicked are playing here. But Infinity's still battling back in those last 2 rounds, doing fantastic. Wicked almost reset back here to an eco round. What a swap in momentum from this Infinity team.
Yeah, definitely from, I think down 0-2 to fight with the 2-0 of their own to now Wicked are going to be forced to eco. So it's just really a lot more better for Infinity to, not get steamrolled and, almost experience the 7-0 of their own.
Yeah, a exciting 4 rounds as we get ready to jump in to round number 5. We are getting close to that reset point, but we're obviously 2 rounds away from that happening. After 6, we swap sides and economies reset. And so this is kind of a tough time to be saving, especially if you think about it. Saving round 5, you're investing into round 6, your final round. But hey, if you come out 3-3, I feel like that's kind of a net win for Wicked at this point. So how do they do this eco round? How well do they do here? Do they find any kills? Can they scoop up any Vessons off of their opponents? How careless could Infinity get here off of a solid two-round win? We will get to see. As the Ondog team slowly approach. Shotgun blast from Basil catches a couple of shots as Dolphin scoops up TBG. And the push starting to come through here as Basil gets chipped up with a couple of shots through the wall.
Yeah, I think that first kill, that's going to be the first fall. Basil's kind of tucked in that corner. The moment if someone on Infinity through that wall peeks on the right for any reason, he's basically gone. Yeah. Basil's going to have to be forced to peek.
Gets a health toss to them, so they'll be able to heal up. Comes back through the door blocker, reconnects with Sleepy and Lumi, and they're all stacked up on B. Interestingly enough, Des the only one holding A right now as this team on the offense gets ready for what seems to me to be the A push, now almost rotating back to B. Where are they coming from? That's what they're trying to put into the minds of this Wicked Esports team. They're trying to throw off their initial entry point.
Is Dolphin just baiting with the low ammo noise? Or I'm just bugging.
No, I hear that too.
Yeah, it's gotta be bait somehow. But I think that was a nade. It was the smoke's gonna drop as well as that wall. As Sleepy Penguin and Des. Oh my god. Sleepy falls, but Des is able to get the reflect. They know one's in the corner. Des is flashed. As he falls, the EMP's gonna be trying to hit from behind. To 1v4 Lumi, the last one for Wicked, as he falls to Mad.
Great flash, and maybe the most important flash, because that blind Basil with Des with a Vezin in hand. That could have been devastating to that push if they had had the opportunity to swing with that Vezin onto the 2 that were pushing that hallway. So big utility plays coming in. That's what you love to see at a high level. That's what you need to do at a high level to get wins. And Infinity playing back into this second map very well, as we do have full buys from both sides for our final round before we swap and reset.
Yeah, I should expect less. I think everyone on Infinity's, they have so much cash to the point where they could just buy as much as utility as they want. If you just look on the outside of where Infinity are, there is just utility just stacked on one window. But for the side of Wicked, the best they could just do is buy as much utility as they can. Obviously, they still have some fight in them. Yeah, see there. It's free utility. Who doesn't want free utility?
That's how you get more than 1 or 2 smokes into the old battlefield. As everything is just down the floor and available if they do want to drop back, but I don't know. They're all sort of stacked up, getting ready for their entry point. I don't imagine they're going to get a ton of use out of that extra utility, as I do see some of it get thrown up.
There's the second drone.
Yeah.
Drone that's open to A. I think if they know there's at least one or two, yeah, they're gonna go for it. Nothing in the clear. That smoke's gonna.
Wow.
Not. Oh my God! Even through the smoke, TBG able to find Jester.
Just
But
blind
they're
firing.
firing. Yeah, they're blind firing. They're gonna lock out the lanes. Is that nade? Oh, that's a bit too close for comfort. Basil with the nade, able to find Ninja Tim. That EMP's dropped.
Yeah, that's a big down right there. Those smokes did not pay off. They actually almost probably hurt Infinity more than helped, as that blind fire connected onto 2 to get those kills. Well, excuse me, 1 with that nade to pick up the second, and a full team on Wicked just tucked in. They don't need to move out too much. They're not going to get over aggressive and rotate out of B. They have actually several stacked up in A, so they're very much ready for the approach from Dolphin and Mad if they do decide to push into A. But I don't know if that's still the plan here from this trio that's left.
Yeah, especially if it's a 5v3 and all defenders are alive. Not much you can do. But as that molly's gonna get thrown, that tries to clear TBG, as it doesn't. As they're gonna try to push into the side, Dolphin on dog. They get massively punished for it, and it's all down to Mad in a 1v5. He's on the other side. Not much you can do.
Yeah, no EMP in hand. Just going to have to barrel through the 5 on a big flank. That's the play here, and that's the start. Sleepy goes down. 55 seconds left, and actually a ton of utility, technically, out here to pick up.
That's preaching. But for 45 seconds left, and the EMP's on site too. All of Wiccan know that they have EMP. They're not gonna overextend. They're not gonna play aggro. All they just have to do is just hold.
Wicked really need this. They can't afford a second map loss, or they lose this series. We still play out that third map. The push comes in, and a trade on the corner that ultimately ends with a round win into Wicked's hands. It's 3-3. We're all tied up, and we swap sides and reset economies for pretty much a brand new, fresh round.
I mean, any round here could change the tide of the course. You get the round win, you could follow up that momentum, and especially where it's now, it's 3-3. Everything matters. Everything has a lot more danger to it. Everything has more consequence than it ever has.
Well, and I wonder how economy gets impacted here too, right? And your choices you make, because do you still save as much as you maybe would in these first 2 rounds on a reset? Because, is that worth it when it comes then and it's 5-3? I don't know. I wonder if it's maybe going to be too... yeah, we'll have to see what the economical choices are here. But, yeah, I presume we're at least going to see 2 rounds of pistoling as we do get ready to jump in to round number 1 of the reset, round number 7 of map 2.
Yeah, and we're gonna see a little bit of a early drone, but Ondog and Mad, they're gonna be roaming. I think they heard the players towards orange as they made their way in. Infinity, if their Ondog's gonna be in a little bit of trouble, as they know where one is, but still throw it back. Oh my God. A little bit of spam there. Ondog able to find the Basil with just a little sliver of health, a single wind on this man, as he does fact get stimmed. As Matt's gonna come in for his plays. As Dolphin find this, Jester able to get a pick, but the other 2 frags are coming back from the side of Wicked. Sleepy able to get the second. Dolphin falls as well. Wicked are able to punish Infinity for playing aggressive.
A 1v2 for Ondog in their hands with Penguin down,
that EMP
on HP. Oh my gosh, the jump out onto Lumi! Aggressive, and Lumi reads it well. They'll find the kill. Wicked will take the pistol round, and they are ever closer to pushing us into a map 3 decider for this series if they can grab this second map.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I think I've said this multiple times. This is a better showing than obviously Steamroll. I think Wicked, since they are on their preferred side, and they have a lot less of a little bit of a tighter. They're a lot more loose
Hmm.
on how many mistakes they can make. Obviously, they need 6 round. They need like 4 rounds for the side of Infinity to steal the entire series away. But Wicked, they're up around. They could buy whatever. They're gonna buy rifles.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about anything
Yeah, we're seeing.
unless you choke the second round. Then
And what do you think
then
about
I just
the Omen buy coming in from Dolph?
probably trolling, but
Well, it's out.
yeah. Well, Dolphin's playing storage, so the nade.
Wow.
Oh!
Nade.
Oh, that nade from Ninja able to take out Sleepy. Wow, Sleepy's definitely mad about that.
Yeah, and Sleepy had bought into a Vezin, I believe, as well. So economy-wise, that hurts.
Mad, please shoot drone. Thank you. Shoot, yeah, Mad, please. You're getting pinged. Okay, anyways, Basil's able to find Ondog coming in from that orange stair side. Mad is kind of stuck. He's getting spammed from that drone multiple times. Basil able to regroup his teammates with just only 20 HP. Dolphin with that Omen able to find Dest. Jester's able to find Louis. And wow. I probably jinxed it in the pregame. I think they are going to lose the second round and have like a really bad economy.
Yeah, this could be tough. I mean, still not out of the woods yet. There's a Vezin in hand and a Taurus, and there's a kill from TBG. They have a syringe from Basil that they can share and get a little health back. And now it's a 2v3.
2v3, this is still winnable.
Yeah.
TBG has the Vezin. All they just could do is just pick up a weapon, from one of their dead teammates and get the regain. But there's no proper defense on B side, so if they do want to go for something like open up that wall on storage, they could do that without any type of penalty. Obviously, if they do get refragged, that's possibly one of the dangers. Anyways, TBG's say that they do in fact get their breaching foam up. They do hear it. 1 minute left.
Just pillaging a couple of resources off their down teammates as TBG and Basil both get ARs in hand. That's a Morai and a Vezin for the two of them, with TBG scooping up the Acta, that stealth camo. They'll be likely leading the charge. Both have health syringes. I mean, this looks good for Wicked Esports on the retake, or on the push
There's
here.
35. There's 35. They have to move. 35 seconds left. They're going to have to move, but the moment they move, Mad's going to come in for the flank. As Jester gets spotted, Basil's going to get aggro. There it is. Mad from that flank.
Oh,
get it, dog.
TBG! Stealth in the corner shuts down Mad in a big way. Wicked get a plant, adding 200 more into their whole team's pockets. They go up 5-3. Economy looking beautiful for Wicked, and what a huge comeback there. I mean, that's persevering right there, right? I mean, literally looking for anything you can get from down players, teammates, picking up guns. They're likely getting information from their down teammates like, hey, I got a gun you can get on me right now, and it's just good, solid focus from Wicked right now, as they do have this opportunity presented to them. Up 5-3. I know the scores currently do say that Infinity won map 1, but that is wrong. We did swap sides and those scores didn't. Infinity did win map 1 7-0. Wicked here trying to take map 2 so that we go to that map 3 decider, and that's when the pressure's on, and we're going to go to Skyscraper for the end of it all. I mean, definitely going to be an exciting wrap to this series.
I mean, we obviously had that clear sweep of a Hideout on 7-0, but I really want to see Skyscraper. Both of these teams do well on Skyscraper, especially because it's a more lurk-based type of map. Now, obviously, there is the controversy of, the map being heavily revolt-sided, but it's just a matter of how each team executes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and execution, especially in these early weeks, the biggest factor out of all. It'll definitely set you apart from anyone. We have certainly seen some great shooting coming in from both of these teams as well, and so overall just a very solid demonstration of skill as Ninja here fends off a potential push in. The shotgun shots towards the drone, trying to shut that down so that they're not finding any more extra information, and really just a bit slower of a setup from Wicked here than their past offensive rounds. They're very much taking their time with 2 minutes left before they decide to make their way in.
Yeah, definitely not a lot more progress. We see the hatch on top of kitchen with that breaching foam, but everyone else is playing around it on the side of Wicked. That does in fact fall.
Oh!
But that nade, I'm pretty sure that bounced from the hatch to clear out the server side, but Med still hanging around server. With the molly, that probably went the wrong way. As you cut off your teammate to enter site. Just 130 to work with. TBG has to blind fire it.
Yeah, and Jester is just trapped in this tight corner as the rest of this offense does start to push in. Ondog here on the short corner picks up a Duzzle. Basil and TBG are left alone and on this stairwell to fend things off. Maybe worried about another counter push because Infinity taking and risking it, getting that big kill on that push.
Oh my god, they realized how passive Wicked were playing, and Ondog was able to get aggressive, able to take two, making it fully even, but I think Sleepy was, or no, I think it was TBG to make it fully even now. V3, bit of a pre-fire from Ondog, but Lumi's still on that top.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Still hanging around hatch.
Where is Lumi? Where is the support? Mad gets killed. Lumi finally does drop down into the kitchen. Stealth on, but it's maybe a little too late as this Infinity team trying to retake. The push comes in. TBG shuts that down. They're alone in a 1v2 as Mad on the short corner and Ondog down the long hallway. How are they going to fend this off? 22 seconds left for TBG to work with.
Oh my god, TBG's going to push, able to get Mad. But
Wow.
through the wall, TBG with the clutch, making it map point for Wicked.
A beautiful pickup there from TBG, as I'm too late on the replay. I'll have to get used to the timing there. But a fantastic clutch, and the overall KDs. I mean, since it's been so close, they're not, it's relatively even. Everyone's finding kills, but TBG and Sleepy, as we've seen so far, the standout shooters of today, as they are picking up big kill streaks. And man, this is a much more, they're just confident on the attack is what it seems here on this factory map, and they're very coordinated as well. We're really seeing very solid coordination from Wicked, even when they get tested. Adjusting is a big element of a game like this. When you lose one or two, what are your strats? How do they change? Do they change? And Wicked has just been doing a great job of adapting to losing one or two early and then finding a strategy to win.
I mean, it's all about adapting. I mean, that's what's happening here. It's been back and forth so many times. The point of they still can't even have a tell on what the opponents are doing, and it's just a matter of taking a guess. But that drone in, that's gonna spot too. As the pre-fire coming in from TBG, that flash is gonna come in. TBG able to find Ondog.
Okay. Mag goes down on the short corner. That could have been devastating if they didn't pick that shot up, but they do, and TBG just flies around to scoop up the head of Id's Dolphin, and now Ninja alone on the defense loses their head as well as Jester alone on their pistol round. A full Wicked press. They are looking good in Factory, as they are certainly destined to take this one and go up a map and take us to that map 3 decider as Jester goes down, and it's 7-3, map 2 into the pockets of Wicked.
We knew.
Yeah.
They've been so dominant in like past months. That unfortunate map on Hideout, but now we go into Skyscraper, where most of your points matter, and someone, these two teams, really powerful teams, someone's gonna take either their first loss or a tie.
Yeah, that's right. That's something worth thinking about. Both of these teams are coming off of wins in their first week of the season. So technically they're undefeated. But, I mean, how long is an undefeated streak if it's only one win? Is that really even a streak at that point? I don't know. You tell me. But let's go ahead and give the players the ready when they are as they vote in for their final map on Skyscraper. I feel like now I'm safe in predicting that we are going to be destined for something much like we saw in that last round. You know, more of that back and forth, and if anything, more importance coming into these eco rounds and saving and getting the proper buys in at the right times, because man, those final 4 rounds, that last round, all they had was pistols. You know, could they have maybe managed the economy differently and spread things a little thinner? I mean, who knows, right? That's the the what ifs you could play all day in a game like this. But we are getting ready to jump into our third map of the afternoon, and the pistol phase kicking us off here on Skyscraper. Shout out to everyone tuning in. We do appreciate you all stopping by and enjoying the action here on YouTube. A reminder that Saturdays at 6, it's going to be 7 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. PST Saturday, 12 p.m. PST Sunday. We will be going live to YouTube and X Stadium. X Stadium, an app you can download on your Quest or Quest 2, and you can watch these games in a big screen in a movie theater with your other friends. It's a really cool way to enjoy the VR Esports. I highly recommend you check it out, and you can only check that out on Saturday and Sunday games. Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 12. I don't know exactly what games are going to be in those slots, but those will be coming as we get ready to get into the action for round number 1 on our third map of the series decider. Who is going to come out on top? I do have to swap sides again, which will give us the incorrect scores, but it'll give us the correct scores for the end. As we do get in this, the non-dog finds the first head.
I mean, it's a lot more common. I think this is what Wicked has done for a while. It's often able to find another head. 5v3. I mean, what I was going to say was what Wicked would usually do, especially on this bomb site in green screen as well as storage. They'll have one guy hanging around the window, and they'll have everyone else, clear the other sides, because, as you can see, this is a pretty much roamer's favorite map.
Yeah.
You could catch so many people off guard and basically just turn the tides because somebody wasn't looking the right way. And reaching foam does in fact get tossed. I think Jester saw it. It's a nade right there. That's gonna tag Sleepy, but no kind of progress yet. Ninja Tim and Matt are gonna be the ones hanging around the hallway.
Breaching foam down by Lumi, so maybe a play getting set up here where Lumi will breach in, throw Jester off, and then you're going to see Sleepy and Des crash in through the on-air door, but it is obviously a risky move. They have to get rid of Ninja, as Ninja has a slice of health left. The ping coming in there. A smoke here would be huge, but they have none, and so they have to get these kills. If they want to cross, there's an aggressive push that Lumi shuts down. If Jester's thinking of doing the same, they'll find more bullets to the back of their head, and for now, we reset into a 3v4 with Ninja, a slice of health.
Yeah, then there, OnDog able to clear out the hallway just to have, Ninja Tim able to retreat, come to Mad for that stim, as they still have to be a little bit more wary of, the people outside of green screen. I think they did hear the breaching foam wall, as Jester has to pay a little bit more cautious, but Matt's going to be able to hold it. As it's still mid-fight, Jester able to find Lumi, but 2 players of Infinity are on low health, all down to Sleepy 1v4. With the Cyclone able to find the first, but looks the wrong way. It's Infinity.
Right back into it. Round. Right back into it on the momentum. Infinity here go up 1-0 out the gate. And we get ready to get into round 2. Sorry, I'm just adjusting the scores here. Do apologize, as we do have to get them fixed. It's kind of a bit of a mess. But anyway, Your thoughts on these early round, that pistol round? Where do we go from here? It doesn't look like we're going to go down to that bottom basement, that bottom floor, A and B. And what are your thoughts on pushing this inside courtyard? It feels like it's kind of risky with how many windows you're vulnerable to on the second and third floor.
Look, unless your team gets like solved, then usually most of the time, that it really shouldn't happen.
Okay.
Like, you have to like be really, really bold, or kind of dumb to just peek window, because there are going to be people outside on that top area of where you usually spawn, just watching the windows.
Okay.
And it's not a safe bet, because if you do peek one of the windows and try to get someone off courtyard, you are going to get punished for it. But that's not saying that enforcers are also safe. You also have, as you said, there are too many doors and windows to look at. As that's what Wicked are doing. They're paying attention to other windows, just in case someone on Infinity decides to play a little bit aggressive.
Looks like they're going to take the front entry and gain full control here. Vulnerable to a flank from Ondog. If they decide to push out and commit to it, could pay off big, as they do seem to take a little bit of a check, but TBG ready and waiting for that
there's
line
a
of
little bit
sight.
of exchange. It's a little bit of an exchange coming in from TBG and Ondog. Chasing HP, but Ondog has to retreat for a while, has to run to Dolphin for that stim. But now they're fully set up for A site. But I'm a little bit surprised that that Wicked are not opting to play for a hatch here. Oh, that nade roll is able to knock down TBG as that flash tries to go through. Lumi running in blank. Gesture is on the slitter of health. Fire.
Mad, Ninja, and Jester all holding down A for now, where the full force of Wicked is coming through. Granted, that full force is kind of like all at half health. That's TBG, Sleepy, all very low on HP right now. A bullet to the chest takes them down, and there's Cyclones into the hands of Mad. Ninja just needs a body shot with that Taurus, and Jester using the Spectral, I believe, on their side. And all three effective tools, as there's the headshot from Basil. Does clear out one on the side, as Dolphins seem to be rotating around for a potential flank. Definitely a nice little equalizer for the likes of Wicked, but they are still all stacked up on A.
No, yeah, that's what it is. I was hoping that they would actually play a little bit more aggressive now, as most of Wicked falls, as now it's all as Infinity gets second round win. I was hoping they would play a little bit more aggressive, because Wicked, they could just focus on one site. They could just focus on that area where they planted the EMP, because no one was watching the wall. Everyone else was focused on the hallway.
Yeah, a solid job there from the rotations on Infinity, too, to be able to stack up and be ready for that push in. To your point, there was a moment, an opportunity where they could have crashed and gotten aggressive, but only we're the ones seeing that, right? We have that beautiful vision through the walls. These guys are all playing off of nerves, and we're into this third map decider where everything has a little bit more importance. They don't want to lose they get their first loss in the VRML in week 2, and so both teams definitely focused and locked in here for this battle for map 3, but so far, Infinity seemingly have the momentum back into their hands. And with economy looking good, Vezins all bought around, the health syringes, a couple of nades. We are seeing a similar buy from Wicked, because both teams saved in to this round, but this is the all-important third round, and this is the one Wicked need to win.
Yeah, Wicked has to win this, otherwise they're going to be kind of stuck with pistols for the next round, and you don't want this, especially on such a big caliber team like Infinity, where everyone can hit their shots. And you want to happen as a little bit of pre-fires coming in, able to take down that door blocker towards the hallway. But you have like 2 roamers. Worry about 2 roamers, as they're gonna make some progress into toilets.
Ondog did check the windows. It forces Sleepy and this team to push into this room, and Jester tries to capitalize off of that with blind fire through that wall. Almost catches and does do a little bit of damage to Sleepy, but not a lot, and really you're just kind of looking to get lucky with the headshot, I would presume, through there, as Dest sets up the breaching foam for the breach, and they're going to get ready to push in full force, it seems, again, towards B.
That's going to be focusing up as that nade's going to come in. Oh,
Nice.
that knocks Sleepy down to, I think, around 15%. Ondog able to find TBG. Just from that window there, as what I said, I think if any play aggressive, they read the opponent that they're going to try and hit the outside. But Jester. There, Sleepy's able to find Jester. So they don't have to worry about any type of line of sight. Worry about it, but Dolphin with that Canut there. Maybe the audio cube buys the time. Ninja Tim's able to find Sleepy though. It's 4v3
Oh.
on the other side.
Ninja rotates back.
Oh, the nade. Oh, I don't think that's gonna connect though.
Oh, it does.
Oh, as I say that, it does. That knocks Lumi to 29.
Oh. Almost suffers a death on the back of that as Ninja gets scooped up from the edge. Dest trying to swing in from the outside window. Catches that kill as Lumi and Basil continue to draw attention. There was an interesting move with the shotty that does go down, and now B is in full control of Wicked here on the offense. It's going to be a retake time for Ondog and Matt.
They know Ondog's on the outside. They did get that notification of the enemy being out there, but Matt able to find Basil from toilets. Lumi's able to get the refrag though. You know where Ondog's at, and all you just have to do is just stall time.
Oh, and the active camo from Lumi as they're crouched down under the shots and find the kill onto Ondog. Wicked Esports, a huge round right there. I mean, they are right back into this series there, Taj.
They are back. Maybe they could carry this momentum, make it hopefully 3-3, so we could have a little bit of an advantage. You know, obviously this being a heavily revolter side of the map, maybe have some type of swing to get into it, or just maybe win the next 2 rounds. Win round 5 and 6, and think make it. No, this is It's round 4. I'm lazy.
I know it's hard to do the math.
We've been casting for this
has been
2 hours.
Yeah, this has been a long series. We're at an hour and a half now, and we're just really getting into this third map, and it's when everything's on the line. So you can't. I don't blame you at all, and I've always been bad at math, so I think we're all clear. Nothing that the VRML folks aren't used to, at least to some degree on the broadcast end. But yeah, let's see what we get here as we get ready to get into that 4th round. Mad, interestingly enough, tucked into the 2nd floor. Do you think they're going to find any off-angle kills up here?
It's probably not. I mean, or as I say that, they're going to push stairs, but with that drone coming in, that's going to clear out a lounge area, as that drone spots 2 tripwires, so looks like that Wicked are going to actually go for a hatch play.
Hatch play meaning that they're going to breach in and push down.
That's what they might attempt, but I say that, and I don't know how Ondog does it, able to find Dest, but that nade, that's going to open up one of the windows. Ninja Tim. Trying to... There. No one on Wicked is willing to budge, after the death of Dest.
Yeah, I don't blame them. They are playing and have been playing a little bit more conservatively, and that's been paying off. TBG does catch Ondog. The battle of the dogs on the 2nd floor goes to TBG as we wait for Sleepy to, a risky move as they push up to grab a little bit of utility off of their downed teammates, set themselves up for the push in here as Lumi preps. What was that?
That's a flash.
Yeah, flash in hand.
Didn't get the flash. That's the flash. That's going to connect to 1. Forced to back off. Mad's able to find TBG dog. And they still haven't found the guy lurking. Mad's able to get away with his life.
Yeah, they got to be worried as you do see Basil way over there. Could be running in to that soon. We have the double breach.
There's the swing. It's, maybe they're a little bit aware of
Well,
but Mad
now they
able
are.
to find Basil. Yeah. They still haven't found Mad. I think that's like the main playmaker. He's able to find players when they don't expect it. As that's gonna drop, but now two of the Infinity players are already on B site, you know, able to give up outer B, but Lumi's able to find Ninja 10, but Matt's gonna start pushing.
A big
There's
pickup there.
35.
Oh yeah, time is ticking for sure.
That nade.
If they can push down the hatch, Mad could be actually way out of position. It's all a matter of timing here for this team. 29 seconds. Mad has to really push forward here. Down the hatch they go. They're on B. The crash comes in, and Jester goes down. Lumi is here on objective.
I
Looking.
think he expects it.
Oh, the hatch drop.
15 seconds. EMP not planned, and Mad from above. Making it 3-1.
Infinity are running away with map 3, although Wicked did battle back nicely, and now we do see at least TBG with enough cash in hand to scoop up a Vezin and have a rifle on the side of the Wicked attack as they continue to attack. We go into our 5th round, 2 more to go before we swap sides, and man, these next 2 need to be locked in by Wicked. I mean, maybe we'll see a bit of a reversal though, because like you said, this map tends to be more defensive favored, right?
Yeah. Definitely, there's a lot of rat angles you could play. The sites are really connected, so you could just have like one person on each site, and you could just play around the outside, and it works pretty well. But especially on this bomb site, yeah, this is broadcast as well as back or what? I don't want to use my team's callouts because it'd be weird. I call this I call it control room because
Okay.
especially on A site, you know, it looks like a control room of
Oh yeah.
you know, broadcast. It
Yeah.
looks like the desk, you know, when you did the VRML con, it looks like that desk. Reminds me of it.
Yeah, it really. I mean, I think we had more monitors, but yeah, it was quite the production that we put on. And if you do want to see more of that, you can check out VR Master League on YouTube, where we do have a nice little hyper cut of that. We'll be having more footage of the event coming, but it was stellar, and hopefully we can repeat it next year, and hopefully we can have a game like this with people playing on stage, crouching down in real life as a full squad as they crawl their way forward with their pistols in hand.
Yeah, they're playing a lot more safe now. They're pretty cautious of players flanking, but I think if just one player of Infinity just decides to push out, I think it's just gonna be a really clean sweep. It might even be a potential 3K.
Maybe someone like Jester, who is very close.
Jester has nothing. Yeah, he has nothing to lose, to be honest. He only has a Spectral. Ondog able to find this, but now Wicked has to respond. As Ondog able to find the second, TBG opened off it. Ondog with 4.
Wow.
Can he get the ace?
He can.
As it does, he gets 5 in a row to ace. Wow. This is just a roll.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we saw in map 1. You know, this is the Infinity that came to play in that first map. And, I mean, again, let's wait until we swap sides, because who knows? Yeah, who knows what we get? Yeah. What's going to happen? I mean, to the point, they have at least one, right? So you're going to force at least 2 rounds when you swap sides, right? It's not just going to be an instant 1 round and win. That doesn't come down to that first pistol round, but you want to make it so that you at least got a 3-round buffer. And so Wicked got to get this next round on the board, and they have almost no economy to do it. So definitely a tall order for them, but it is an important one. And if they can get it, they really set themselves up for an opportunity on the defensive end. And we could settle into a tie potentially at all stages, in which case it would come down to rounds 1 to determine the winner. But hey, it's I'm just happy to have such a good solid series here today, Heritage.
Yeah, I mean, these two What are you best in NA? That's obviously subjective, but I think
Sure.
these two, they're good in their said region, and they both could coordinate as a team. They both could push, and they do as we think. Wicked's gonna be pushing to vents, so a little bit different. As I think Jester did hear a couple of drops.
Is there any hatch plays here on A? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is. That does connect to B though, so a bit of a drone in. So they do know that this hatch area is fully open, but Ondogs are just on the other side. But I don't think anyone's gonna be pushing hallway, as Wicked is gonna be making their way towards that hatch.
Breaching foam is down, and the breach is here. Do they push in quick or kind of let this settle and wait to see any rotations coming in? They're not just going to instantly drop down, and maybe that's the safer choice, as B does kind of open up with that breached hatch.
Yeah, I mean, you are going in blind. You have, the moment you drop in, you have too many angles to work with. That's what I did in scrims. I drop in, and then all of a sudden, I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of angles I have to cover. And so, yeah, obviously, the safer choice is to just let it happen. Don't make any progress. Right there, as Lumi's outside that window, could act as your, quote-unquote drone. And just clear out what angles work, as that flash is gonna be primed. So I think they might coordinate some type of push, as there's 3 on the hatch.
Oop.
And that nade's gonna come in. That's clear on Ninja. That flash is gonna come in, but yes it is. But there's another nade. It's Dolphin able to get 2. Lumi able to get that refrag though. It's still a 2v3. That EMP is gonna be dropped, but Ondog from above able to just clear out that hatch. Lumi all alone on that side. Basil has to come and cover. As Lumi's able to get AP, but I don't think he's ready for Ondog for the hatch.
And that plant point's going to be so hard to get with Ondog watching from that hatch.
It's on the wall too. You can't get rid of it. So now you're just going to have to fight Ondog. And there's 10 seconds.
A huge, I mean, Ondog is getting aggressive in these moments where it's so risky to get aggressive, and it is paying off big for them. Looking at the KDs, I mean, 12-2 on this round right now from Ondog as we do swap sides, and now the scores are accurate. Team Infinity took map 1 7-0. Team Wicked took map 2 7-3, and we now have Infinity leading 5-1 in our final map of the afternoon. A big shout out to everyone tuning in, and a quick shout out to our sponsors, ProTube VR Cover, and HyperX. If you don't know what ProTube is, they offer fantastic stocks. I got one right here. They help stabilize your aim in game with magnetic cups that snap into place. They're a really cool product. I love it. I'm a big stock junkie. I always have been. And ProTube have always been a fantastic supporter of the VRML, so we really do appreciate them as a sponsor, and I can't recommend their products enough. Although I do know at the high tier, it is a maybe less than debated topic, but some people prefer no stock and some people do, and I mean that's a tale as old as time, I think, and I really just preference,
stock,
right?
Stock versus rear hand. I feel like it's going to be the debate of like, keyboard and mouse. Like keyboard versus controller debate in like the world of VR.
Yeah. To that point, pick what you like and enjoy the game of Breachers, because it is a fantastic shooter that is friendly to anyone that does want to jump into it. And man, we just did a reset. We swapped sides. We're here at a pistol round. It's 5-1 Infinity. Are our predictions going to be right on this defensive thing? Or is it going to be Wicked able to bounce back here because they have to win 6 rounds in a row if they want to take this map?
is what they're gonna do. Yeah, as they're pushing the A, but the EMP is gonna get planted. But Lumi looks the wrong way, but able to recover it. As now they have full sight 4v2. But Dolphin and Ninja, they're on the outside. But that EMP, it's not in their favor. They're gonna have to rush through. Des is able to find Ninja Tim all down the Dolphin into a 1v3. Is maybe
Jesper.
almost winnable, yeah. Well, Dolphin with that Spectral and Jesper combination matters. Lumi's gonna get aggro. Bang, he's gonna come through. Oh my god, I'm nervous. Lumi able to get Dolphin. As they're able to get the defuse and the first round win of the second half.
Now, if you defuse the bomb, is it still 200 points for the plant to the team?
Yeah, you mean defuse? I think it's I mean, obviously you defuse it and you get money, but I think it's a plant. And
Yeah, well, I guess it's still 200 into the pockets of everyone on the attacking side just for getting that EMP down, right? So they're looking okay off of that loss to that point. 1350, 1825, 2K into the hands of Jester as they picked up a couple of kills. But, yeah, a big pistol round. I mean, you want to talk about winning rounds and having to get back into this thing. That was a big one for Wicked. They get 2,500 into their pockets in comparison to the 15 into Infinity's. And both teams do eco into round 2 of this reset. And so we are still at a pretty even mark. Just a little bit more utility and actually a Vesson coming in from Lumi and Sleep. Both of those, Sleepy in particular, being a standout shooter for this team so far today.
I mean, Sleepy's just good at the game. He can IGL as well as get frags. It's something you don't see very often. You know, yeah, usually, you know, the IGL having to make up these strats.
Right.
Yeah, and you usually don't have the practice to come in and, you know, train your aim, but he's able to just do both of them at once. So I think that what makes Mouse a stick out, but the pre-fire, wow. If he just held on a little bit longer, then he maybe could have found on dog, but I think that's gonna be a forced. That might be a forced stim. But oh my god, Ninja might. It's multiple pre-fires. If Ninja just takes down that wall for any reason, he might be able to find TBG dog.
They really need to open up B here so they can challenge Lumi and TBG, who are doing a great job so far of fending off any sort of setup. And, oop, there's Matt taking a little gander just out through the vents towards B and doesn't get immediately shot. So maybe that's a path for them to take as Sleepy has taken up a defensive angle.
Windows open, that flash is going to come in, but Sleepy's able to punish that as Sleepy does get to. As it's a 5v3, the pre-fire through the wall. As nope. Oh, nope, breach. Oh my god. We almost had a full kill there, but that's just gonna swing. Able to find the first. Able to get away with his life. This Dolphin down to a 1v5. Oh, nade.
Ouch.
Rolled through that flash. That's gonna. She's gonna flash herself. As that proxy's gonna ring. Both of them do. Now it's just gonna be a spray through the wall. Actually be able to find Dolphin. As you know, 2 rounds in a row.
3 kills into the pocket of Sleepy off of that one. As they buy into the Vesson and stand out as they have. And yeah, 3 rounds in a row and momentum shifting to Wicked. Infinity now have the option of buying into some guns, and so we get that equalizer round, the all-important one for Infinity. They really need this round win. If they lose, their economy goes into a little bit of a rough patch, although granted now they are actually looking pretty good off of that win. Oh, off of the previous wins, well, yeah, how do they have... I don't know. Oh, they're saving still. Okay, I'm sorry. I was looking at the... I was looking at the rifle buys coming in from Jester
I was being a little bit questionable, like what's going on?
Yeah.
like 2 different opinions. I'm seeing something else.
Yeah. No, we're all good now. I see what they're doing, and yeah, it looks like again that sort of. There are still and interestingly I think that's a oral buy coming in on Dolphins' end.
I was hoping a Canutt type of play, but maybe we get some shotgun usage. But from what it looks like and the setup is, they might try to do something like hatch, as you have Ondog coming in on that second area, in that hatch right there, around Con. But everyone else on that side of Infinity are going to be towards the outer of A, as they're going to make some progress. They're going to be able to push into the outside of A, as they're able to get their first task, get inside the building.
Yeah, step one on a map like this too, and that can be harder than it seems.
Oh yeah, it is easier to say than done.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And some blind fire. Again, this blind fire really been connecting for Wicked. They have been chipping down this attacking team pretty consistently, forcing stim uses, and that ultimately can impact you later in these rounds. As a nice little flash that catches Lumi out, I think also TBG, but there's no push off it.
Yeah, there's no punish, especially when that door blocker is in fact up.
Yeah.
You didn't op something in to burn a nade to get rid of it, but that wall's gonna drop. But now you're kind of stuck. There's a tripwire to worry about, but that drops. But now you have to worry about that static field. But they're gonna be able to get the full smoke off. They're able to clear one, but TVG through the smoke, able to find Jester. That's 3 smokes used. I think there's 2 offensive and 1 defensive. So you're gonna be around halls. TVG able to find 1. Lumi able to utilize that door blocker to find Dolphin. As it's a 5v2. This is still in the favor of Wicked, as Ondog has to push, but he only has a Cyclone to work with. Med able to find Desto, still able to make it a 4v2, but I think Wicked knows they have EMP.
Yeah, Mad's in B, but that doesn't do much for them. They don't have the EMP in hand, so they can't plant right now. If they did, it'd be so huge to redirect. This is Ondog does catch TBG with the Cyclone. They do.
But Basil flank.
Yeah.
Basil able to find Ondog. Now it's all down to Mad in a 1v3. He's on the other side. 25 seconds left. I think the best option would just be find the frags, damage the economy of Wicked if you can.
Especially with any one of these kills, it's going to take out a big ticket item.
Yeah, especially with the economy. Wicked, they're under the 3K limit.
Yep.
If they die for any reason, they're going to be forced to, next round be stuck on 200.
Oh.
But
time ticks down. We forgot about time.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, yeah, best option here would be 25 seconds left. EMP's
save.
down. Yeah, save.
Yeah, that's what Matt did there. Saved the Vezin so that they would be able to help out their teammates kit out their rifles as they do go into this next one. Another big round for Infinity because Wicked just keep taking them. And right now, Wicked is settled very nicely into their economy. They have options for the next 2 to 3 rounds at this stage. And as I say that, we see some big utility buys coming through from the likes of Dest, picking up that Vezin and a couple of pieces of utility frag, what are they called? Incendiary grenade. I was going to say Molotov, but we know that's not correct.
That actually, it's not the right term.
Yes, incendiary grenades as they come in, and it's are we gonna?
When you come from player into caster, when you got to use the proper terms, it gets a little bit annoying.
I agree. I had to write these down because I'm so used to certain naming conventions, especially the Molotov for other shooters. So definitely.
Player to caster, it's a very difficult change. Because as a player, you want to make things simple. You want to use simple terms that make it easy to understand. As there is a little bit of a firing range. Not sure if you heard it. That's on A. The moment the proxy just rang, they just blind fired through the wall.
Oh, so you can see the bullets.
There's so many bullets.
So many
I'm not
bullet
sure they
holes
took
through
out
that
the
wall.
yeah.
But
I'm not sure they took out the proxy.
Ooh. Especially with the EMP in hand, that could spell disaster if things go wrong.
And no progress. Yeah, they, as I said, they aren't able to get inside because this is a pretty hard side to enter. You have the windows, but everything's mostly locked down. I think it's a little bit interesting that, most of the players are, in fact, you're stacking only one on B side while having everyone else stack around A. You also have Basil coming in from that main area, just trying to play a little bit of a lurk.
It could be just the fact that they invested 2 static traps, 2 foot trip wires. They really have put a lot of utility down here in B, and so maybe they feel a little bit more comfortable shifting and investing some player resources to A. But either way, it seems like a little bit of a I wouldn't say confused Infinity, but they're not quite synced up on where they're breaching. And maybe that's the plan. Maybe they want to stay spread out, but so far they really don't have a clean way in.
Yeah, not much, but Matt is able to find TBG. But Ninja through that window and a little bit of an exchange with Sleepy. But Jester's able to find Lumi with the
Wow, they have
with
full
the
control.
tap
of
that
B.
flash just got the Penguin. Now it's a full B clear.
And this is Infinity getting back into this, taking a 6th round to at least prevent a loss. If they get that 6th round, it'll guarantee that it's going to be tied. Dest scoops up that kill, though. The great equalizer, 2v4 now. EMP down, they have to retake, and everyone is just so tucked in on the side of Infinity with Ondog and Jester dining and enjoying their meal, and Ninja tucked in on the objective.
I thought they learned their manners. Don't put your feet on the chairs. Come on. Anyway, Ondog able to find Des. Basil able to get 2! But I'm not sure if you know where the EMP is. We have to find Ninja Tim, and you're looking the wrong way. As it is series point in favor of Infinity. The only option you could do for Wicked is force a tie.
That's all they have left, but I do think if they end up tying, it will go to Infinity because of them winning 7-0 in that first map and Wicked winning 7-3. More rounds into the hands of Wicked. I do also think we have ties, so I could just be totally wrong on the fact that one of these teams wins and that it could just be a dead tie because each teteam's won a map and they've tied the final map.
Just 7-0-7-0-6-6, and then just that's
yeah. Either way, don't listen to me on the rules. Okay, I'm just here to enjoy and cast. I'm not a moderator or a rule enforcer, so. You can ask those questions.
Go ask Tipic. Go ask.
Yeah. Go ask Tipic, Ninja. Those guys, they know the
Ninja,
answers.
Frosty. Yeah, they know.
We're just here to provide you with high quality action, and so far today, I think we've been doing that pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. Heritage, this has been a stellar battle back and forth so far.
Yeah, I mean it's been so close, especially with these fights as. The side of Infinity, that nade's gonna get tossed, but not gonna clear anything. There's a little bit of pre-fire coming in. I do believe that was from Lumi. TBG through the smoke, able to find him mad. A little bit of pre-fires coming in, but no progress made yet.
Maybe where that extended mag pays off as the Cat's Jester as well through the smoke. Although the smoke was dissipating at that stage. But what a slice of an angle that they've taken there to shut down Infinity. And what do Ninja, Dolphin, and Ondog do?
Your best option, if you do just want to lock the round, is, just try and control one specific site. Like, you could try and opt to control B, lock down that little area where you can plant towards that box. Just focus on that little vent or cubby area and then lock down the doors. But Des is gonna get aggressive. I'm sure it's a good call, but Basil, they won't find Dolphin, but Des is able to get Ondog. Now it's a 1v3, all down in Ninja Tim. The EMP, we could see a 6-5.
Ooh, flash out. Lumi doesn't get caught by that. Stealth active for Ninja, as they maybe consider dropping down. They're going to have to slam Lumi with a headshot and then immediately turn and challenge Dest as they do drop down.
But somehow Ninja Tim gets away with the life, able to get 2!
No!
It doesn't matter, Lumi from behind. I almost thought we had a clutch.
Almost the 1v3 into Ninja Tim's hands, but Lumi does say, no. That's not happening today. We're going to go one more round. Round 12 in the series, the final round of the series. Will it be Infinity taking this with a third map win, or are we destined for a tie and Wicked fighting this thing off? It is... well, more so into the hands of, it seems, at least for now, Infinity, if you're looking at the economy. But, I mean, both teams pretty much dead even with minimal, only a Taurus coming in onto Basil, but everyone else able to buy into Vesins. On the other side, I guess, if anything, Infinity are down kind of bad. Orals buying into SMGs for the first time today. There is a Vesin on Dolphins in Dolphins' hands, but still, Wicked are posed to tie this thing up.
Yeah, and even if you do tie, as you said, that 7-0 on Factory, that stings.
Yeah, it does.
And, obviously you want to do... Obviously, you still want to try. You want to, get a little bit better MMR, so that way you don't have to face basically players lower than your skill level, and you still want to make it even, but...
Basil.
Oh my, if Basil just swung just a little bit more early, he would have been able to find it. But I think that was a little bit of a distraction. Ninja Tim is stuck. Dice is able to find him. As it's still a 5v4. Basil's gonna be peeking through. They know where Basil is. He's gonna be forced to use the small exterior. Basil able to find Matt, gonna drop through, able to retreat with his life.
Both hatches breached on A and B sides, so it is very much a hatch battle here, as TBG and Dest cover one, and Basil now covering the other. Sleepy and Lumi also tucked into A, so Wicked are ready and waiting for these players to try a hatch drop. They have everyone in position. Dolphin may put an effort into it. Oh no, they're going to actually find the kill on the TBG. Dolphin's ankles were open for a bite, but they didn't get bitten. They find the kill themselves. We're into a 4v3 now. Basil with that Taurus in hand getting pinged the Vesin on the ground. It's kind of risky to go for considering Dolphin's angle.
I mean, as obviously as the casters, we can see now they backed off. I think, but you have to know as a player, you could still be a little bit wary as now Basil finally gets the Vesin, but with 1 minute, still 4v3. This is still winnable. They still have the hash play to work with, so they could catch them by surprise. But with the mana advantage. But if you do want to offer something like B, the moment you kill Des, that's full sight. But 50 seconds, they have basically no type of nade to entry in with.
Yeah, a flash or a smoke would be real nice here. But there isn't that utility available. Dolphin, interestingly, going outside, making their way down, and finds the kill.
Sight! That's 3v3. Jester able to find Basil with that RTP. That nade's gonna come in through. Not gonna fully kill. Sleepy has to push through, but they line up. It's 1v1. I don't believe it. Can the 1v3 clutch happen? 20 seconds left. They know where that EMP is. As they do hear the drop. Oh, that is Sleepy. 10 seconds to 1v3 clutch to tie the Skyscraper. I don't believe it.
The final clutch kill from Sleepy rounds this thing off 6-6. And we're tied at the end of the series. What a battle. So happy we tuned in to this one, Heritage, because we got what we asked for, and I think the folks at home did too. Dead even split on votes on the connoisseur side, and a tie game to wrap things up. Your final thoughts on what was a stellar series for us to tune into?
I mean, I'm gonna be really honest. Into map 1, that's and I was like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna be good. But the moment we snapped into I think was it Factory and Skyscraper, I was like, okay, this is the type of breaches we've been looking at.
Yeah, it was solid and engaging back and forth. And again, I appreciate everyone tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action this afternoon. Share this channel with your friends and make sure that you subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It should be just beneath me somewhere. Also, hit the like button so we can get up on that algorithm. Watch the videos, watch the shorts, comment on these videos. It all helps in growing VRML and growing the breachers scene because that's what we're here to do. But with that, we will be signing off. A shout out again to everyone stopping by and our sponsors, ProTube VR, HyperX, Triangle Factory, and VRML. Until tomorrow night, Friday, with another big voted match. My name is Ben Nightfire and my co-caster Heritage. Stay classy.
Pre-season of VRML Breachers is brought to you by Triangle Factory, HyperX, Asterion Products, VR Cover, Arma.gg, Kiwi Design, and VRware.net.